doing good, man. Just at the office, my man, thinking about how Phoenix Suns are going to win in the draft.
Okay, don't think too hard. Yeah, I mean, what are you gonna do? You know, they have no picks. You're not going to hear their name tonight, other than Houston with the pick and formerly Phoenix Suns. That's it. So
that's I knew you would be on it, Rock. I knew you'd be on it.
You know, it's just I wanted to take you back in time is where I wanted to go today. I really wanted to just kind of take you back to rookie camp. You know, you've been through rookie camps yourself. What would you say is the biggest adjustment these young guys have to make mentally when they first walk into these NFL facilities? What do you think? What's the biggest adjustment for a young guy?
You know, realizing that you deserve to be there.
Okay.
We really do. Yeah, you have to realize that you deserve to be there. I mean, you no matter what round you get picked or how you get, what time you get drafted, or if you're just a free agent, you have to realize that you deserve to be there because you got picked by a team. Not that you have to go earn it, but realize that you got to be there because when you're walking into an NFL locker room, you're walking into your idols. You're walking into rooms of histories of players you've watched and sat next to, or not sat next to, but watched and played with on video games, and just, you know, stood in awe of their careers and wondered if you could ever do it. Now you're walking into the same building that they are either there or you have a chance to play against, and you have to come to your senses, man, that I deserve to be there.
So Coach Gannon talked about cortisol levels being really high, like a sign of stress. From a player's perspective, how real is that pressure when you're trying to make a first impression? You're in a brand new building, coaches, the whole 9 yards. You've met them, you talked to them, but now you're making that impression. I know it's only rookie camp, but you know, how real is that?
No, it's extremely high, and it's very real. You don't have a job. You don't have a job yet, and you haven't done anything yet. So you've gotten drafted to the next phase. Typically, guys who get drafted in the early rounds, like they got a little sense of comfort because they wouldn't have drafted you that high. Typically, you're also a well sought out athlete that has proven himself to be able to play at a high level or that next level, and you just has not been seen. But the level of nerves of when you walk into a locker room, knowing that, you know, it's changed. You're not the BMOC no more. This is not campus no more. Mm-hmm. You know, you're going in the locker room with some heavy hitters that's making $40 million a year. Your NIL money was cute. Thank you for the $400,000 you got, or 1.2 you got from Alabama, but I make $40 million, bro. Like I make that in 1 week of work that you don't even make, that it took you to make all year. So there's a lot of things that happens, and the reality checks that come into play when you realize you're at the NFL level now.
Frank Sanders is our guest on the Right Toyota guest line. Frank, take me then to Tyler Shough. Manute coached the kid since he was like 2 years old. Now he has a chance to be the starting quarterback as a rookie for the New Orleans Saints. With the retirement announcement of Derek Carr, Shough has that opportunity as a rookie. How does that dynamic play in? And in your playing days, did you ever experience a rookie QB with that pressure?
Look, yes, I did. I'll answer the second question first, and I'll do it by Jake Plummer.
Okay.
Because it just got real. When we drafted Jake, we thought, you know, it was going to, you know, Jake would have a little time to kind of rest and sit the bench a little bit because we had some veterans that was here, and we thought that was the case. But it got real pretty fast because we were sinking pretty fast. And, you know, management made a decision pretty fast to get Jake in the game. We're sitting in Philly on the 2-yard line of our own 2-yard line, having to go 98 yards. And the Philadelphia Eagles fans, they were calling all kinds of names that he got introduced in the NFL pretty fast in real time during the game, not preseason. So when they say it gets real really, really, really fast. For our guy, Tyler Shough, I'm going to just say this here. It's the exact same thing, man. You thought you was going to have a chance to sit behind a Derek Carr, a veteran quarterback with time to kind of learn the system, watch him as he coaches you up and kind of mentor you through the program of what it's like to go through, how to study, how to break down and check down defenses. how to get your housing situation together, what it looks like to come in the morning to break down film and tape. There is a plethora of things that you have to learn that it becomes real time now. And the expectation level of you becoming the starter just became that much more greater for him in a manner that I hope he's able to accept the challenge and handle the pressure because of the great tutelage of his mentor and Manuch. But at the same time, he has to take over a program that believes they're one quarterback away from moving to the next phase in that division.
Hey, you watch all the shows as we all do, and when they're talking football, it's Shedeur Sanders. Is he already a distraction? Do you think?
You know what? He's it could be a good thing and a bad thing. And a good thing is that because of all of the nuances of the situations that are taking place in Cleveland, and particularly in the quarterback room, then he could be a good distraction. But when you look at Shedeur, he's handled all that. He's lived with one of the most polarized figure in sports, and that's his dad.
Yeah.
From little league to high school to college from Jackson, from one college to the next college, and now he's opportunity to be a pro quarterback. He's handled the camera work and still went out and performed. It could be a good distraction, but one of the things that you have to also recognize is that Shedeur's got to go out and play.
Yep.
He's got to go out and play, Rock. But more importantly, the other guys around him got to go out and play, because if they don't, he's going to prove why he deserves to be there.
Do you feel that there could be some challenges with that because of all of the hype, that there could be some players on this Cleveland Browns team that do not want him to succeed?
Oh, without a doubt. But here's the only way that will happen. And I'll say that. I say without a doubt, and I say guys don't like some guys are jealous of the other person's shine. Mm-hmm. You haven't proven anything yet. So what have you done? You haven't proven anything. That's why you got drafted late. So the guys will still be the locker room, still the locker room. The locker room is still the locker room. You got jokesters. You got men who are trying to make the cut. You got Joe Flacco, who's over there trying to figure things out. Am I going to play? Am I not going to play? Am I just here just to wet the wheel for a little while, and then they're going to take it away from me and give it to this guy? Is Watson going to come back? There's a bunch of questions. But what really happens is if he shows any sense of humility about being a rookie and wanting to learn and to come in and put that work, if he starts making plays, he's going to win that team really fast.
Frank, let me follow up then, since we are talking about Shedeur Sanders. Look, we watched him play at Colorado. He did not have a great offensive line in front of him. He was on the run a lot. Look, we all know the boy's got serious skills as a quarterback. So in your estimation, do you believe it was the way that he handled all of the interviews in that process that saw him dive all the way to the 5th round? Or in your estimation, are we missing something about his skill level?
No, you're not missing anything. It was proven and stated over and over and over that the way he handled the interviews were not well. And his skill on the field is one thing, but when you're the quarterback, you're the voice of an offensive unit. You're typically sometimes the voice of the team in some perspective. And when you're winning, as they say, the quarterback don't take the credit. He passes it off to everyone else and his team around him. And when they lose, he takes all the heat. And Shedeur he's been in situations like that. But when you come into the NFL in a situation where just that little bit of humility matters to certain coaches and matters to organizations, I didn't necessarily think he had that. And there was a lot of other things that kind of just behind closed doors kind of popped up that looked like they were ready for primetime television. They were ready for social media money. They was ready for other ways of avenues of making money that didn't look like he was just focused on being a quarterback. And so sometimes that just it didn't look well. And so, but here's the beauty of it: once you humble a person, they got a decision to make. He's gone into camp. He's been productive. He's been humble. But there's other levels to humility, and I think that's what I was talking about earlier. Will he be a distraction or will he be received? He'll be received if he busts his butt, goes to work, shows the guys that this is what it really takes. All that other stuff don't mean anything. My desire and drive is greater to win and to bring Cleveland to another place.
How's the golf game, Frank?
You know what, brother? It's really good right now because.
Well, what do you attribute that to?
Yeah.
What do you attribute that to? You drinking a new tequila? Something new came out?
No, man. I know what? Tomorrow I'm going to post a picture of my bag. It's because I got the Rocket Manuch and Jimmy B towel on there, man.
Oh,
yeah,
so much
that's
flavor.
it.
Yeah, the old station. Yeah, you can burn that one. We'll get you a new one.
Oh, well, but the faces don't change stuff.
That's
No,
true.
that is
That's
true.
true. Yes, that's true.
It's on my bag too, Frank.
Yeah,
I want you
mine
to know
too.
that.
So, Frank,
Time to re-up, Rock. I'm ready for some new balls.
okay.
Paul.
Well, you okay? You questioned the TP5s at first, but then you liked them.
Yeah, I did, Rock. We saw when we was playing one day. I was able to spin those suckers, man,
Yeah.
like a.
So, is that your request, or
like a
you
flip
need?
card.
Is that your request?
Yes, sir. Cards
Okay.
and a new towel, please, sir.
Done. We'll get it going. Got to get it going. Thank you, Frank. Appreciate it.
Thanks,
Frank
Frank.
Sanders here on Rock and Manuch with Jimmy B. And today he's brought to you by the Taco Spot. As if you haven't had them, the tacos at the Taco Spot, you got to experience the tacos to talk about. Tomorrow is Taco Tuesday. $2 tacos at participating locations all day long. The Taco Spot for a location near you. And they're everywhere. Head to tacospotaz.com. Our learner in row one call will have to do with Giannis and the report from ESPN and what's on tap. And today is presented by our friends now